Alright. We are back. It's episode, whatever, 16, 17?
16 or 17, yeah.
18, 23, who knows? Performance Academy podcast with your co-host, Zach Rowe.
And Josh.
And we're back at it again. But we're a little off, trying to do it this past weekend, but it just wasn't happening. Life's busy, So we're here. As we do, we'll always kind of just start off with our current fitness stuff, and then we'll get into it.
Episode 17.
17, there it is.
Yeah.
Josh, you can start off.
Okay. Mine's pretty much the same as it's kind of been in running, swimming, lifting a little bit, jiu-jitsu as well. I've been doing this for a while now, so I'm feeling better on all those, except for the lifting. I'm not really just maintaining, and it's not encouraging. But running-wise, I feel good. It's noticeably I feel much better while I'm running too. Swimming's good too. I guess the only thing is just recovering from all the volume. It's just hard, especially because a lot of the workouts are at high intensity as well. So I'm just trying to focus on my sleep, trying to eat, drink a lot of water as well. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, your compression pants.
I got my compression pants on at the moment as well.
I think you talked about those last week or the week before.
Yeah, I think I did. I got them now.
How much were they?
These were $70 or...
$70.
I believe so. I'll look it up.
And is there anything in particular in there, or is it just the elasticity, the compression that's what does it, or is there something special in there?
Well, yeah, it's whatever this is that's in the pants. It's
that makes the pattern.
Gives it the compression. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's kind of on the calves too a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, they're cool. I like them. But yeah, I just got to do some more stretching and whatnot. But even when I'm so sore, it's I don't even want to move.
Yeah.
I don't want to stretch.
Dude, have you looked into doing massages?
Yeah, I've thought about it, but I'm cheap, so.
I started doing them, and holy shit, bro. I've been doing them once a week now. I started doing them a week or two before my triathlon. Because I was talking about it with a client, and then she said this one place, but it was way too fucking expensive. And then I realized there was this chiropractor office in this strip mall kind of place right by my house, and it was right next to the grocery store I go to, and I was like, hey. So I looked into that, possibly just more business related and whatnot. But then I saw they had a massage therapy, and it was a pretty good price. I was like, bet. So I looked into it, and I started doing it. And I did not realize how fucking tight my pecs were.
Really?
She does this thing where she pulls my arm like this and just rubs in here, and holy shit, dude, it was so fucking brutal. I was like,
oh, dude.
And she was like, is it okay? Is it too hard? I was like, no, just keep doing it. I was like, just keep fucking going. This is great. And the first one I did at a half hour because I just wasn't sure really how it would go. And then at the end she was like, yeah, you gotta do an hour one next time. I'm like, okay, bet. Because she didn't even get to my my lower body. She just worked on my, right here too. Your what are these muscles? It's your occipital bone, but I forget these muscles that connect to that bone right here. Oh my fucking god, bro. Just so painful. It's and there's just no type of way I'm pushing in that hard myself to work it out.
Yeah.
It's just you. It's just you have to get someone to do it, because it's you're just not gonna. You just want to You pull back a little bit because it's so painful,
Yeah.
You don't want to purposely hurt yourself so much, so it's I'm gonna kind of pull back a little bit from this myofascial release. When someone's doing it, they don't give a fuck. They're just they're just pushing in there and releasing it. Oh my goodness, it's insane.
How much was it?
It's $40 for an hour.
$40 for an hour?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Because there's this other place, this chain massage envy that my client was telling me about. She's like, oh yeah, there's one over by the track circle. So I looked into it, and they were actually just booked out for just simply too long. So then I looked at the one in Los Al, and it was for an hour. It was $120 for an hour. I was like, it's $2 a minute basically.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that doesn't even make fucking sense, cause like that's 120 for 60 minutes. How is this one $40 for 60 minutes?
Damn.
It wasn't like a bullshit massage. It was good. Like,
Yeah.
I could really feel it. You know, it definitely helped a
Dude,
lot.
$40, like that's totally, like, I could justify that.
Yeah, and I was just thinking like, oh, I'll do maybe like once a week, but I was like, $40, I could do that every week. That's whatever. It's just like I trained so much and so hard. It's like, why not just invest in it? And like, there's been so many athletes on the JRE recently. They're like, yeah, I get massages like 2-3 times a week. I'm like, oh shit, all right.
Dude,
Like
that's
Gordon Ryan, or well, no, Gordon Ryan.
I didn't hear him say.
We'll get to that one in a second. But did he say? I think he said he did every once in a while.
Yeah.
But I remember Clarissa Shields. She said she was an avid massage getter, and then a few others. I just can't remember off the top of my head. Get that soft tissue work. So.
Dude, I feel like that would hit the spot, but I feel like they would kill me right now. They were like.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be in pain for an hour, dude.
I mean
Dude, I'm tight everywhere right now.
Yeah, yeah. No, it'll probably hurt quite a bit while you're doing it, but I just feel like pretty refreshed and good afterwards.
Did you feel good for like the next couple of days afterwards as well?
Yeah. It's just like when I start coming. I don't know. Honestly, I didn't even really feel my pecs being all that tight because I stretch them, you know, but they don't feel like tight, like overactive. But she would like when she does it, man, it's insane. But it's just like it's just a good thing every once in a while to get it done. I feel like I don't know if it makes like a remarkable difference in your performance and whatnot, but it just feels good, you know. So that's cool. Just like fucking turn off your brain for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just chill too. So yeah, I've been doing those. That's pretty good.
How long have you been doing that for?
Like 3-4 weeks. Yeah.
Oh.
Probably about 3 weeks because I started like right after that last podcast. It's been about 3 weeks or so.
Oh.
So yeah, about 3 weeks. Doing like once a week. But yeah, anyways, that's it for you with the fitness stuff. So I had my triathlon. When was that? That was it 25th? Yeah, I think it was the 25th. So a little over a week ago. It was like a mini triathlon, so not quite a sprint. It was like slightly different distances. I was shooting for an hour and a half, and I got an hour 33, which I'm pretty happy with. I didn't win the whole thing, but that was because I was doing like a completely different kind of race essentially, because I didn't know this till like a day or two before, but they weren't gonna time transitions. I was like, the fuck? You gotta time transitions in between. So you can just fucking chill and like just do whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm like ready to go. Yeah, so I was like, when I told Christina, she was in charge of kind of putting it together. I was like, just time me the whole time through, and then I did mine on a road bike, and everyone else did on a stationary bike. So you know.
Did you tell them like you mapped out like whatever?
Yeah, it was like a 3-mile loop. It was like down Carson, up Bellflower, down. What street is that? Delamo, and then back down Woodruff. That was a 3-mile loop. So I did that 5 times for a total of 15 miles. So you know, obviously, you know, road racing, you're gonna be slower than just slamming it on the bike, on the stationary bike. You got headwinds and cars and turns and all that kind of shit. So you know, but I think I got like second. I beat every single one of the people on the teams.
Oh,
they
yeah?
did teams, you know, where
Yeah.
one person can do each leg of it. I beat everyone that did it in teams, so I felt pretty good about that.
Who'd you lose to?
It was actually the you probably know him. I think his name is Daniel, the cycling instructor.
Oh, like the older, like, is he Mexican or Italian?
Yeah, Mexican or Italian or something.
Yeah.
Mhm. Shorter guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah. So, it really helps to excel at cycling in a triathlon because obviously that's the longest distance. That's the most time you're going to be committing to something. I'd say I probably excel the most at the swim, which kind of sucks because my swim, the swim's the shortest. I did a really good swim. I did in 12:39. I did the 800 meters.
And that's freestyle the whole time?
Yeah. And then I did flip turns for about half of them, and then I was like, you know what, fuck this. Like, that's the hardest part of pool swimming for a triathlon is all the flip turns. It gets kind of exhausting. So then I just kind of just grab and go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did the swim in 12:39, the cycle, Jesus Christ, it's so loud. The cycle in 55 minutes, I think, maybe a little bit less, and then I did the run in 27. And really the only part I didn't do that well in was the run, because I was shooting for 8-minute miles, but I ended up getting 9-minute miles, and that extra, I did 3 miles, so that extra 3 minutes, that's kind of where it came from, where I wasn't able to get to 1:30. But nonetheless, it was a good race experience. I had a few hiccups here and there, but it was cool. It was good. I won a $100 gift card to Sprouts.
Oh yeah.
I was like, hey.
What did first place win?
I don't know.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But I paid $40 to enter it. I won $100 Sprouts gift card, so I was like, bet. Sounds like not that bad. Anyways, that's it there. So yeah, now like the workout routine, it's just real loose. I'm gonna be starting a basketball league. I'm playing with Miles in a basketball league at the Y on Mondays, so I've been kind of prepping for that. And then also I'm gonna be starting a softball, slow pitch softball league the next couple of weeks on Friday nights.
That's sick. Slow pitch softball's fun.
Yeah, we play pickup games with me and my friends Sundays, every other Sunday. So these are gonna be like rec leagues, like
which city?
Long Beach, I think. I've never played in Long Beach. I've played in Bellflower, Cerritos.
You played in Bellflower too? I think we might have talked about it.
Huh?
I feel like we might have talked about that. When did you play in Bellflower?
3-4 years ago.
Did you play in the summer?
Sims Park.
Yeah, did you play in the summer?
Yeah, we played like all seasons.
What was your team name?
We'll play for food.
That's your team name?
Yeah.
You remember the JRE boys?
Yeah.
That was our team.
Did I play you?
Yeah, dude, we played We'll Play for Food, for sure.
Yeah, I remember the JRE boys.
Yeah, that was us.
We beat the shit out of you guys.
No, you did not.
Right? No, I don't remember your teams being very good.
Well, once the first year we didn't make the playoffs. The second year we made the playoffs. Third year.
Have we talked about this? I don't think I have any idea.
Did we not? Maybe we haven't talked about it.
That's so weird.
But yeah.
Was that? That must have been before I knew you.
Well, the thing is, our team.
Because I would have recognized you. Obviously.
Yeah, that was before we knew each other.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, our team fluctuated a lot depending on who we had week to week.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know if you know, but like I mean you don't really know. I guess you know most of my friend group. A lot of my friend group are not athletes.
Sure.
Like, and you don't need to be like tremendous to play what it's called, but still being an athlete helps, you know. And
well, really, it's just like hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
The skill of like throwing and hitting is very specific.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a great athlete.
Well, especially our first season, we had like a lot of our friends who were just on it, who were just drinking and having fun.
Yeah.
Who don't have hand-eye coordination and
Yeah.
playing in a somewhat competitive setting, so
Mhm.
it just sucked. But then over the years, we had like a couple more baseball buddies come in and whatnot, and then like
some ringers.
Yeah, so then we got a lot better. But yeah, that was us, the fucking JRE boys.
Yeah,
I still have my shirt.
That's so weird.
I remember
Yeah.
We'll Play for Food for sure.
I played with a bunch of old dudes.
Yeah.
I was the youngest guy by like 20 years probably.
You know what? I feel like
it was all my dad's friends.
You know what? I feel like I could see you out there now.
I played left center.
I feel like because I remember
I would always pinch run for everyone.
I feel like I could see you out there now.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Was your pitcher like a really old guy?
Yeah, Wally. He was like 80 something.
Yeah, he was sick though, right?
Yeah, he was killer. He got cancer though, but he's good. I think he's good now. I think he's in remission. But,
shit! Yeah, you had like the really old pitcher, and you had one more really old guy, I think too.
Our whole team was fucking old. My dad was the youngest one. He was like 46 or 7 at the time.
It must not have been your team, but we almost got in a fight with one team. But I don't think it was your
Really?
team. Yeah. You remember the team with the twins, like the skinheads? Or no?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
one of the skinheads.
Yeah.
was getting
Mm-hmm.
up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know. So yeah, slow pitch softball.
That's funny.
We're gonna be starting that up soon. I'm excited for that. I haven't played slow pitch in a long time, because our manager, he blew out his Achilles. So then you're like, fuck yeah, I'm not gonna manage it. I can't play,
Yeah.
you know. So then my dad took it over for like a season or two, but then my dad already had a pretty bad meniscus injury from softball, like a long time when I was like a baby, and so it finally just kind of just blew out completely on him, and then the team kind of dissipated, and then COVID hit. So it's been a minute since I played softball or like a officiated team or game, so I'm excited for that. So I'm just gonna be kind of preparing for those kind of things, keeping the workout program relatively loose, just doing a little bit of cardio here and there, lifting some weights, nothing crazy. The big thing that I have going on is I started up a new diet. I think I mentioned it. I was gonna go keto, so this is day 3. It's going pretty good. Dude, have you ever had a schlafel?
A falafel.
Yeah.
A chocolate waffle?
No. Cheese and egg waffle.
No.
It's so fucking good, dude.
Is
And
it?
it's keto as fuck, bro. It's like a half a cup of cheese, whatever cheese you want, and then an egg. And you just mix it up, pour it in the waffle maker, smash it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can't have a waffle itself.
No. Well, I mean, you can do like a keto waffle, or it's
Yeah.
like some other kind of alternative for the carbs or whatever. Yeah, it's cheese and egg waffle. Oh my god, bro. And then you put some butter on it, and then I have the Walden's Farm zero calorie syrup. Ugh, it's so fucking good, dude. It's so fucking good. I'll do like a couple of those, and like a piece or two of bacon. Get hella fat, hella protein. You really only get a handful of carbs from the cheese.
Yeah.
You know. And then lunches, I've just been doing either In-N-Out or I'll make my own burger patties, just some 80-20 ground beef and some cheddar cheese, and then dinner is just kind of whatever my mom makes. I'll keto it, you know, just cut out whatever.
MacGyver.
Yeah, I'll just cut out whatever I need to make it keto. So it's just like, you know, protein source, and then just snacks. I've been sticking with beef jerky and Greek yogurt, and that's kind of just been my diet, honestly, the last few days. It's been pretty good. Just the only problem I have with keto, and I don't know how people do it for weight loss, is it's so restrictive.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to kind of start it at the beginning of last week, but then my friend had a birthday, like a just loose kind of birthday kind of party, you know, on Sunday after we played softball, and I was so fucking hungry, and they were having pizza and whatnot. I was like, it's tough because you don't want to be that fuckhead that's like, oh, I'm on keto, no.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I would have to, like, I was so hungry, I just needed to eat because I just played softball for 2.5 hours. So I don't want to be the shithead that's like, no, I'm not going to eat, and then sit there and just kind of, like, suffer. Or I have to, like, go and get, like, fucking some Flying Dutchman from In-N-Out and eat that when everyone else is eating pizza. It's just, like, you look like a dickhead, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the only problem is, like, it's a little challenging.
So, like, those type of things, like, you really have to, like, I mean, now you know it. You have to, like, think of that in advance now.
You really got to plan ahead.
Yeah.
You, like, super duper have to plan ahead for that. Because I really should have ate before and then, like, just chilled. I would have been fine if I had, like, 3 Flying Dutchmen until I got home after the party. I would have been fine. But then I was doing some other shit, so I wasn't planning, so I was like, fuck, alright, well. Anyways. But yeah, and then one of the guys there, he was, because, you know, keto, like, when someone says keto, like, they're keto, it's kind of like a meme now. It's like, okay, you're doing fucking keto. It's like, it's just like that kind of diet, you know, at this point. But, and because people kind of, like, they just do it for weight loss, but I'm not even really doing it for that reason. But one of the guys, he was like, oh, why are you doing keto? And I was just like, I could just break into like, oh, I'm doing it for like the metabolic flexibility, fucking the insulin sensitivity, the mitochondrial biogenesis, all these other fucking things, but then it's just like, you're at a fucking party. You don't want to be that guy, you know what I mean?
Well, you could just like list them off real quick, and he'd probably like, oh, okay, you know.
Yeah.
What what'd you say? You just.
I was like, oh man, it's kind of fucking complicated, and then like, I don't know, something else happened and it got cut off. I was just like, I didn't even really get to it, but I was thinking in my head, do I really want to fucking go through all this?
You should have just hit the bullet points, you know.
I should have, but that, someone cut me off, or like someone said something, or I don't know, and then it just kind of went a different direction. But anyways, yeah, keto, man. It's very strict. And then my dad was like, Dude, my dad can't even stick to my diet that I gave him. He's like, oh, maybe I should do keto with you. I'm like, no, shithead. You can't even follow that. You think you're going to do keto, which is even more restrictive?
Yeah.
Or it's not even more restrictive. It's just very restrictive, you know?
Yeah.
What I was trying to get to him, it's not restrictive at all. Like, there's a lot of foods you know, it's just bullshit, like, food, you know, that you cut out, essentially. You're sticking to real food. And you can't even manage that. So like, I don't know what you think you're gonna do on keto. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's it there. It's going good. I had to switch up my coffee because normally I do like the white mocha syrups, and now I'm doing extra heavy cream. In the coffee, and it's actually really good. It's pretty solid. I don't have to have heavy cream.
I usually just drink black coffee.
I can't. It's just not. I can't do that. But anyways, that's it there. All right. Next thing is my internship, my health coaching internship. They offered me a job, so that's pretty lit. Today's actually technically my first day, but I didn't have any appointments scheduled. So I am now a health coach for Live Health Online. So that's pretty fucking lit because it's my first like official gig as a health coach. I was doing health coaching in the Super Kids program at the Y before COVID, but it wasn't like an official position. I was just kind of doing it as a part of the program. So yeah, it's pretty sick. It's all online. It's a telehealth platform, and I can just put my availability in whenever I want to work, so I can just move it around my training, and then people they have like a call queue, which I've been doing for a little bit. They have a call queue, and then they just look who's available, put you in, and I don't even have to do anything to book it or anything, and it's pretty sick. I already got like oh, I got another one. Yeah, look at that.
Nice.
Just 8 minutes ago, I got another one. So that's like 4, 5, 6. I have like 6 appointments already for next week. I just put my availability in last night. So it's like 25-minute sessions. Yeah, it's pretty sick. So I'm excited for that. It's not great pay, but it's just so easy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to do any kind of. I don't have to do anything but show up and just do the health coaching. So it's pretty lit. Got that going on. Finally using my health coaching certification because I was getting kind of annoyed because I paid a decent amount of money to get certified through that, and I was just like, I'm not receiving any money from this. So I was just like, bro. And then I think I talked about it last week, but I was gonna start reaching out to golf courses and golf professionals. So I've been doing that, and man, it's tough for like the golf fitness coach because you know. A lot of golf courses don't have like the facility or like the place kind of set up to do that, you know?
Yeah, no.
Really, do you have to, oh, there we go. I had a piece of hair stuck in my mouth. Really the only place around here that actually has like a gym is Old Ranch down in Seal Beach. They actually have like a gym, it's like a country club.
Yeah.
All the other places don't really have anything like that, so even when I'd go into like turn in my application, people thought I was like applying for just like I guess like a ball boy or whatever, like people that like clean the carts and then go and get the balls or whatever, you know. They were confused on what I was even applying for. So I don't know. We'll see what goes on with that.
Yes.
Yes. And then I started reaching out to courses at first, and then the golf professionals in the area that were just on like Google, and only one of them got back to me. And dude, it was so strange. I just was like, hey, I'm trying to get into golf fitness. I know you're a golf professional. I was wondering if you could we could have like a referral system where I pay you like a flat rate for any kind of people you recommend to me, and then you know, you benefit financially, and then they improve their game off the course. You know, so it doesn't seem like I'm trying to take their clients, because like this is like kind of.
It's not technical.
Yeah, it's not like the core stuff where you do like this is secondary kind of like extra stuff, you know, to supplement your golf game. And then only one person got back to me, and they were like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. I understand that you want to get into golf fitness, but I don't know you, so I would never refer you to anyone. I was like, oh shit, okay. I thought that was such a stupid fucking reply because, of course you don't know me. I'm just like, essentially cold calling you. I'm cold emailing you, you know?
Yeah.
Like you don't know most people in life. You meet people and you learn about them and develop a relationship. So that's why I was like, yeah, well, I didn't say that, but I was like, yeah, I completely get you wouldn't want to refer anyone to me. You don't know who I am. So I was like, I was hoping to develop kind of a professional relationship, and then I even offered to like do a session with him and show him my my assessments and corrective exercises for different postural deviations and swing deviations and the workout. He hasn't gotten back to me, but the old saying, you know, it's not what you know, but who you know.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that guy, so he doesn't fuck with me.
Yeah. I just gotta keep knocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My new motto in life is you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You know.
Wayne Gretzky,
That's,
Michael Scott.
Yeah, that's literally just my new kind of motto in life. I've been just shooting shots out there.
Nice.
Anyways, that's it there. Let me just cross these off. Next is the shore strength lab. Did you saw that?
Did you talk to them at all?
Yeah. So, what do you think of that? First off.
I mean, is it just like a little was it like a boutique gym or what is it called? It's a little it's a.
I don't quite understand because they're somehow connected to the Belmont. So I don't know if it's like they're renting out space in the Belmont, maybe like that upstairs. Have you ever been to the Belmont? They have the upstairs area where they do all their group exercise stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they're renting out that space to teach classes, or they have their own spot close to it. And,
Is it like Fit Zone? Is that what it is?
the way they explained it to me was that it was all like strength-based group exercise classes that they program and give to their instructors to then go and teach the classes. So yeah, I was like, okay.
You can do it, but I mean that's not really
that's not really my jam. So that's why I think I told you I was like I'm gonna email them and set myself up as like a cardio sports performance specialist. Because I think that's like a cool like kind of niche that I think I could excel at and I enjoy, and not a lot of trainers really focus on that type of stuff.
No, it's super neglected.
It's so strength based, you know.
Yeah, because it's mostly aesthetic. Like that's what people come to like the gym for.
Yeah.
And they neglect their most important muscle, being their heart.
Exactly, Greg Doucette. Most important muscle is the heart, and I think I've taken quite a few CE classes and I studied a lot. And I understand it pretty in depth for just like general fitness, cardio fitness, or sports performance, and I'm not 100% sure on the clientele that they're trying to get, if it's just general exercisers trying to just get stronger or if it's more sports based, but I figure it was sports based because it's called Shore Strength Lab, and that doesn't seem like a general pop kind of name, like you know what I mean? It seems more niche towards like
that's a little bit hard to market just because like the people who are already into that, they probably already have their own routines and know what they're doing more so.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of hard. I mean, you can do it, but it's hard to get the general population into that.
Yeah.
Who are probably going to be your clientele.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't 100% understand, but they got back to me about the cardio stuff and they were like, oh no, we're not going to really be doing any cardio classes. So I think it's all just like group small business stuff, small training, group training, no one-on-one stuff. I was like, okay. And they were like, oh, we're just going to be doing strength-based classes. But the thing is, if you want like, it's kind of hard to do just a strength training group exercise class because there's a lot of standing around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're really trying to truly develop strength,
well, yeah.
There's a lot of rest intervals.
Yeah.
And
you need a lot of like one-on-one coaching too.
Yeah, it's hard when you're doing like strength training movements like squat, deadlift, like maybe Turkish get-ups, fucking overhead presses, bench press, all these different kinds of movements. They're very complicated. They're compound movements. There's a lot of like sequence of events, and it doesn't lend itself very well to group exercise because there's a lot of staying around and kind of resting. When someone comes to a group exercise class, I feel like they just want to kind of be doing stuff, and then you're just turning into cardio, you know. Even most like strength training classes like at the Y or whatever, they were all just kind of cardio classes.
Yeah, with some weights in them.
Yeah, exactly. There's strength training because you're using weights, but it's like just because you're lifting weights doesn't mean it's strength based.
Yeah.
It's just, there's not any rest in there. Like you're just the you know, Brett Contreras talks about this pretty often, where it's like you're going over. I can't remember exactly what I'm trying to say, but you know, it's like that like 30 or more range, where if you're doing 30 reps, you're not really reaching that kind of stimulus in your muscle where you feel fatigued.
Well, it's like, what's the limiting factor? You know, it's your cardio at that point. It's not like
it's your heart, how fast your heart can pump, not the fatigue in the muscle, where it's like you're reaching peripheral fatigue or technical failure. So I don't exactly understand what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, they were like, yeah, we're not really doing any kind of cardio stuff, but we're just trying to hire strength coaches essentially. And they were like, would you be interested in that? And I just entertained them because I just want to like learn more and figure it out. And maybe I'm not honestly really interested in teaching like a group exercise class, and I feel like there's gonna be a bullshit rate, you know?
Yeah.
That I'm not really interested in. And to drive down to Belmont area to do that, I would not be interested. But just to learn more about it, I said I would be interested, but they haven't gotten back to me on like an interview time or whatever. But nonetheless, I'm happy for them. You know, Candace and Jade. I think they're both CSCS certified. And I'm glad they're kind of branching out and doing like a business type thing outside of academia.
Yeah.
So that's cool for them. That's where I want to get one day. So that's it there. And then one last thing before we get into current events. What time are we at? Oh, we're chilling. One of my clients, Claudia, she was having shoulder problems, and she went and got surgery about a month ago or so, and she just like cleaned up some bone spurs, and they thought the rotator cuff muscles were like detached, but really it was just like the bone spurs that were getting in the way and affecting kind of the movement of them. They did some other shit, I can't remember exactly. But anyways, she did this in Manhattan Beach, but then is doing her physical therapy in Torrance at this place called Beach Cities Orthopedics, I think. And their head of physical therapy is really cool. He's a really cool guy. He's a physical therapist, and he has his doctorate, and then he's also a CSCS. And he was working with her, and gave her his card, and then she gave it to me. And this is something I really appreciate. Is like continuity of care. He wanted me to reach out to him and communicate and talk back and forth about what she had going on and whatnot. As opposed to, it was probably about a couple months ago, I think I said on here, my other client who was reaching out to another kind of healthcare professional, and they wanted me to pay for a session essentially to communicate with him and talk about the clients. And I was just like, I was so flabbergasted by that. Really, this is how it should be, is that continuity of care. So he's a real cool guy. He worked from USC, but then he was like, oh yeah, talking to her, like, that's really good that your trainer reached out and I think he'll do very well and this, that, and the other. And he actually said if I'm kind of in the area to let him know ahead of time, I can go check out the facility. I was like, that's pretty cool.
That's sick. Because
another thing I've considered getting is like post-rehabilitation. So I like that kind of stuff, and I think that's important because a lot of people, they go to physical therapy, and oftentimes their injuries aren't fully healed because insurance will only cover physical therapy for a certain period of time, and then they're just kind of off on their own, and then they don't follow up and continue to do the exercises that the physical therapist prescribed to them, and then you just get, slowly over the years, you just kind of develop the same kind of issues you had before, pre-surgery. So when I'm there, I'm gonna be like, hey, you need someone to refer to, post-rehabilitation shit, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes. But I also want to talk to them about the CSCS, because that's something I'm considering doing after I graduate, is either the CSCS or the TBI. Not 100% sure yet. But
I was thinking about the CSCS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of like pretty like not like super big kind of fitness influencers, but have like a decent Instagram following, but you know they're doing really well in life, or just yes, you know, like you just kind of like perusing through Instagram and whatnot, and you're just kind of clicking account, you're going from account to account, and you see all these people. They don't have super, like, you know, a few thousand followers or so, but you can see like the type of clients they're working with and like kind of like their lifestyle, how they're living. I'm like, that's kind of where I like to get to, you know.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to have like super crazy social media clout, but well respected.
Professional.
Put some content out that's good, but what really counts is like what happens in real life and like the people you work with and whatnot, you know? So anyways, that'd be cool to get to eventually. Anything else before we get into current events? I feel like I'm talking too much. Okay, did you listen to the Bronson JRE?
No, I didn't listen to his. I listened to a little bit of Ethan Supplee's, and that was it.
Yeah, did I write that one on here? No, let me write that before I forget. He's a really cool guy, but yeah, I like Action Bronson. I listened to a little bit of his music, but you know he's always been like a super overweight guy. It's kind of like just been his thing, you know.
Yeah.
But similar to Lara Beats, I think that's how you pronounce it, that we talked about last time, is he's got his shit together. I think he said he lost over 100 pounds in the last year since COVID hit.
That's what Ethan Suplee said pretty much too. Yeah.
He's lost even more weight. We'll get to them in a second. But he just realized, like, I think he just had a kid right before COVID hit, and he just was like, had kind of some health concerns come up. He didn't really get into the specifics, but he's like, dude, I gotta make a fucking change. And then he was like, yeah, like, seeing like COVID was hitting a lot of obese people, so he's got his shit together. And, you know,
that's good.
He's a chef too, so, you know,
likes to eat.
Yeah, exactly. But he you can still eat good food. Like I talked about this before. People think dieting is associated with shitty ass tasting food. You can make food that tastes good, and also is healthy for you, and help you lose weight. And then he just gets after it. He says he does a lot of like On It. He says he's a big fan of On It, and he at his home gym he has a lot of maces and kettlebells and Indian clubs and all that kind of type of stuff. He said like 80% of his working out stats type of stuff, and then he goes to the gym to do like stuff he doesn't have, like leg presses and like machines and stuff like that. Shout out to Action Bronson, another example of someone that's realized their health was being compromised by their poor lifestyle habits and decided to make a change and stuck to it and lost a lot of weight and will have a better life for that. And I'm a big fan of that. Shout out to that.
That's sick.
It's very cool. I wish more people would take that route. Next is the Ryan JRE.
I was
listening to that one?
Yeah.
What do you think of him saying that no days off? He said he doesn't take any days off. Their whole squad.
I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's. Yeah, I mean, I think you can take days off, but I mean, I think when he says no days off, I mean, if you're at that type of level, you can go in and like just go through motions type stuff. You don't,
yeah, that's what he said.
You know, and so like that's yeah, sure, no days off, but your days off are, that's kind of your day off. You know, like you can go in all the time and just like study, you know, and go and try technique, and that's really not gonna tax you. You know, so that's understandable. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to take none though, because you don't ever get that mental break from it.
That's the big thing for me, is just mentally detaching it from it, at least every once in a while. You know, maybe after a big, I don't know, he didn't really say, but like maybe after a big match, just take a week or so off and just like let your brain fucking chill out for a second.
Yeah.
And just like, be happy with what you've achieved, and reflect on all the hard work you did. Take a second off to just take a breather and enjoy life, and then get back after it.
I mean, people say like no days off, but it's like one of those, like, do they actually never take a day off? you can't really know that. But
Yeah.
it sounded like he said he doesn't. But yeah, I mean, it is his profession, and he does, I assume, love it, so I can see that.
He seems obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of like the whole thing that Joe was talking about is like you need like an obsessed coach like John Donaher, and you need an obsessed student.
Yeah, those stories about Donaher I thought were pretty funny about
the rash guard thing.
The rash guards and that, like,
hilarious.
he goes home and like he goes and studies.
Yeah,
all
like
stuff.
that one was like, yeah, what was the example? He was like
He's-
an 18-year-old.
Oh, U23s thing.
Japanese fucking like what
No,
was
he
it,
was,
kickboxing.
he was talking about some U23 wrestling tournament from like 2018.
Yeah.
And then they
like,
said
what?
that like a month ago they were out to dinner with Lex Friedman, and Lex Friedman was talking about like some like
Mhm.
Dagestani like wrestlers from like the 80s or something, like some
Yeah.
obscure wrestling group. And then Donaher was like, oh yeah, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And like, just
He's such an interesting guy.
yeah, he's an interesting cat.
But
man.
what I wonder is, it didn't seem like they paid him almost.
Donaher?
Yeah, right? Because, like, the way he said it, he was like, oh, we don't miss because he gives everything to us every single day and asks for really nothing in return.
I would be surprised
And-
if they don't pay him.
If he almost made it, he didn't really explicitly say it, but it seemed like they don't really pay to train.
Well, I mean that's not
And-
that's not uncommon for that
It's
to
not?
happen. Like for like coaches like top athletes for like his inner squad guys to like not because like the coach is building his reputation off the performance of those guys. Like it's the coach's game and philosophy being expressed through those players.
You get the money through like people that hear about it and want to learn from
Yeah,
you.
'cause
Like you bought stuff from John.
Yeah, I
right?
bought stuff from Donaher and
Mhm.
Gordon Ryan.
Yeah.
And I know like Eddie Bravo's gym in HQ. A lot of his like the guys who train at HQ they don't pay, because they're kind of like at the epicenter of like 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, and they're kind of like carrying.
Kind of represent.
Yeah, they're kind of representing. If you are like walked in as a white belt, you're gonna pay.
Yeah.
Like the high level guys, he wants to like do well in competition. Like they're kind of his guys. Like, they're not paying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Gordon Ryan.
I thought that was kind of interesting, but when you put it like that makes sense.
Yeah. Because Donaher's building his brand as well. The Donaher Death Squad is building
Yeah.
their name
Yeah.
around those guys. So.
Yeah. Another thing I thought was interesting that they brought up is he wasn't willing to go into MMA and do that kind of thing until someone else from their squad was like
Carrying the torch.
to that elite level that Gordon is
Yeah.
in jiu-jitsu, and he was like, I can wait out a couple of years for our squad to stay dominant in jiu-jitsu until I go over to MMA, which is very unique. Like Joe said, I don't think a lot of guys would have that type of loyalty.
It is unique, but like in the same sense, like with athletes and like teams and whatnot, like you do see that from time to time. Like you do.
I mean, sometimes in team sports.
Yeah, but even like
But-
like a tight community like that. I mean, jiu-jitsu, like when you're going out to perform, you are like an individual. But like when like your time is training with all your teammates, like and you're doing something like you're butting heads with them like all the time every day. Like you do care about those people, and like those are the people that are kind of forging you.
Yeah.
So like you're going out and you're carrying that flag, your team's flag, when you go out and compete. So like yeah, it's cool to hear, but like it's not like. It is uncommon, but like it's not.
Especially
it's
in
not
martial
unheard of.
arts. Especially in martial arts. I say less so in like team sports. Like you hear of guys that take pay cuts to be able to re-sign like role players. Like Tim Duncan was well known for doing that, and like Tom Brady, and those kind of guys who could just. Those are the type of guys that like just give you the max because I'm worth it, but they take that pay cut to do that. But in martial arts, I feel like what other example is that really? Like
yeah.
I don't. Who
Yeah,
gives up some of their own personal gain for the gym that they train at?
Yeah.
I can't think of another one.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I'm glad to hear it, and it would be super interesting to see Gordon Ryan in like an MMA format, because like you don't really see like any of like those top of the top grapplers now.
Gary Tonin.
Yeah.
How does he do? I haven't really seen a fight of his.
He's in. I think he said one, right? And I think he said like 6 or so fights.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really follow one, So.
Yeah, I haven't seen a single one championship
Yeah.
fight in my life.
But you don't really see too many like super top of the top level grapplers in like MMA necessarily.
Damian Maia?
as much as they used to, because they can get their money now in their own sport. They don't need to go get punched in the face to make some money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's more so for like the challenge itself of MMA. You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, there still is more money, you could say, in MMA than grappling for the most part. But like 10, 20 years ago, like there was like almost no money in pure grappling.
Yeah.
You know? And Gordon,
What is even that? Wasn't even that much in MMA at that point, really.
but still considerably
Like
more
2011?
than just grappling. You know?
Yeah, a little bit, definitely more.
And Gordon Ryan's the first guy to like really be like a real big millionaire, I think, off of like grappling. Besides like some of like the big families, I'm sure.
Mhm.
You know, but
Yeah, like the Gracie family.
yeah. So, but it'll be interesting to see. I would like to see him transition to see how well he does. Because if he can avoid getting hit, dude, and he gets a hold of somebody, like it's just gonna be a different type of level.
I mean, he could. Yeah, he could leg lock anyone.
Yeah, he could leg lock everybody.
What weight is he?
Well, you remember he was saying he's got weight problems, so he's going up and down and all around the place. But he's anywhere from like I think he said he got super light down to like 190, but I think he's around 220-ish or something like that.
So he'd probably
Or 205. He said he wants to get up to like 240. He said if like his stomach was like fine, like he wants to get like quite a bit bigger. Like
So he'd be in heavyweight.
Yeah, well, MMA.
But he's 220 currently, so light heavyweight's 205.
He might be like 215 or 210 now. But yeah.
So just say right now, he could definitely cut 10 pounds down to light heavyweight, which is 205, right?
I mean, you gotta think about too. He'll have to come off the juice though too.
Oh, he's juicing? Did he talk about that?
I mean, they actually did talk about it a little bit.
I don't remember.
He skated around the question a bit. He basically I think said that everyone does it type thing.
Mm.
But I mean, yeah, but he's.
Oh yeah, I can think of pictures now. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he juices. Everyone does.
So yeah, but if he competed anywhere but UFC, it probably wouldn't matter, right? Because I think UFC is really the only big promotion that
Well, he'd fight first in one. Like
would be Bellator.
Well, initially he would fight in one, like their MMA promotion, because like they have grappling and MMA,
Mm-hmm.
and so like they have like the rights to him for a certain amount of time if he wants to go to MMA.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm sure after that, once he gets a little bit of a name, then he could the UFC would I'm sure the UFC would be all over that.
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, if he was light heavyweight, I mean, he could leg lock just about anyone, I feel like.
Yeah. Be interesting to see
Who's
how
a
he gets there.
big, there really isn't any, like, Josh Burnett, he's not in the UFC anymore. I don't think there's any other, like, super high level light heavyweight dudes that are good at jiu-jitsu.
No, I can't think of any big boys.
Big Country, is he still in the UFC?
I don't think so.
Or Nelson? He's a big, he's giant and knocks people out, but like Joe always talks about, he's a very good jiu-jitsu practitioner. Yeah, I don't know. I think he would excel quite a bit. But nonetheless, that was a cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And the fact that he trolls people so much. He
Yes.
said he does like 6 hours just like on social media. I was like, bro.
Yeah, I know. I hope he was exaggerating, but it is kind of funny. Like he says. Like,
I was a little concerned. I was like, he seems to be having fun with it, but like, I don't know. That's so much time.
I mean, he said he doesn't watch TV.
It just seems like his whole life is literally just training, eating, sleeping, and trolling people.
Yeah.
That's just his whole life.
Well, I mean,
but if he's liking it, who cares?
Yeah, I mean the trolling people is what gets him like the big bucks too, though.
I guess so.
Cause yeah.
I wonder how much money. Because he said, I wonder how much money he gets per fight. Because he said like,
Not
stuff
much.
tough for him to fight. So like, how does he make like sponsorships?
Instructionals.
Instructionals.
Yeah, I think recently he said how much last month or something was his first $1 million month or something like that.
That's crazy.
But I think he said like 60% of his revenue comes from
They're just like
instructionals.
So like groups of people that pay, or
No, like
small
DVDs.
groups? Oh, DVDs.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean his stuff's really good. I mean I have a couple of them.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that's it on that. He's a very interesting dude.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And then you said Ethan Suplee. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
I think we've both been familiar with him because he does a lot of stuff with Renaissance Periodization.
Yeah.
And Jared Feather and Mike Zutel. And it was cool hearing him shout them out both at different times throughout the podcast, because we've been following both those guys for for a minute now.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping you would talk them up a little bit more. That way, like, they would get them on eventually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like he did.
He did, yeah.
Jared Feather, like, you know, his coach, he said he was a good guy, and then Mike Izzotel. I didn't even know about that TED Talk thing.
Yeah. I think I might actually listen to that one before.
Oh, really?
That TED Talk? Yeah.
I didn't even know about that TED Talk, but I thought it was just very interesting, and yeah. So he said he was 5'50", and got as low as 200 pounds. So I mean, he lost a total of 350 pounds over 2 years, but it's actually more than that because he said he lost some and gained some.
Yeah.
So I mean, probably close to 500 pounds that he's lost and gained and lost back and forth, which is so insane. But he said for a lot of that he did keto, and then I think he said about 5 years ago was when he listened to that TED Talk thing. It was like, gotta go a little bit more moderate.
Yeah.
And now he's at like, what do you say, 270, and he feels pretty good at that weight. And he said like actually being at 200 pounds, that was a lie. See, Ben, he said he did a lot of cycling type stuff. I think he said he did like the Tour de France, like the path, but not exactly how they do it, like every single day or whatever. But he said he was like miserable at that body weight, and yeah, it's just very interesting to talking very candidly about just body image and weight management and all that kind of stuff. And I was interested. I was surprised Joe didn't really talk about it, but he like is super hater on like carbs and like refined carbs, like bread and that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And Ethan talked about it. He's like, oh, I thought bread and like gluten was poisonous, and like, but
yeah,
it's not really that big of a deal. I'm surprised he didn't ask him more about it. So I remember even one time Joe said like, oh, if your trainer tells you to eat bread, you should fire him or something.
Did he?
And, yeah, I remember Greg Doucette a while back made a video about it and he was pissed about it. But the thing is, he eats rice, which is fucking worse, really. Because rice is so calorically dense and doesn't have any protein and doesn't have any fiber.
Yeah.
And you know, bread, it's still pretty calorically dense, but not nearly as much, and then has a little bit of protein and a little bit of fiber. So you know, and then you mix it with like egg whites or something and like make French toast. Boom, there you go. That's a good meal there. I lost like a decent amount of weight doing that. I got down to 162. I don't know if you saw my pictures on my triathlon, but I was pretty shredded. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, leaned out.
I was pretty lean. I was pretty happy with it. So I can't remember exactly where I started at, but I ended at 162. And I wasn't doing any kind of weight training for about a month or so, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to get back into weight training, but whatever. Kind of on a tangent here. But what else did I want to say about that? I just thought his kind of weight loss experience was very interesting, and just preaching the moderation, and yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, we'll move on to the next one. The UFC PI, I sent it to you.
Yeah.
They released their research, but it was yesterday or the day before, I can't remember, but it was real recently. We didn't have the time to go over it. So I know I said in the last podcast we'd go over it today, but we'll go over it next time, and we'll really dive into that and see what they have to say.
That'd be sick.
But I'm interested what the UFC PI research has to say about all that kind of stuff. So that should be cool. Just a few more current events here. The Steffi Cohen and Greg Doucette feud. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
That one was interesting because I love both those people. So I was like, oh no.
That's funny.
Mom and dad feuding. That's
funny.
But I think it's just more semantics, really. Did you see it all? Did you know what the feud was?
No, I didn't.
So Steffi Cohen just put out a thing about weight loss and cardio and that not really being the key to weight loss and just focusing more on your diet. And instead of doing cardio, doing more like walking. But really, what Greg Doucette was saying is that cardio is or walking is cardio, which it is. You know.
Yeah.
It doesn't like for people like us. It's not really. It's not very intense. Like we really wouldn't do that for cardio, you know. But for like most people, if you just walk at a pretty good clip, you're gonna get your heart rate elevated into like that list range, and that's pretty solid. That's good, you know. But Greg was like, well, you're saying to not do cardio, but you're also saying to walk, which is cardio. And so I think that was just kind of like a misunderstanding.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, what do you think about walking for like cardio? Like,
yeah, I mean, as long as you're not just strolling. And,
yeah.
And like that you're at that, like that's where your fitness level's at, then yeah, do it. You know.
Yeah.
Like the threshold is pretty low, or the like to get yourself started, like that's a good enough bar, like that's a nice low set bar to start with, you know. That will help you out, you know, but it's not so crazy. It's like you have to run 2 miles a day. Like you're not going to do that, you know. Like Jordan Peterson talks about, like make sure you set the bar low enough for yourself that it's challenging for you, but at least like you, even where you're at now, even if it's so bad, like you can still get to that with a little bit of like trying.
Yeah, and actually I'm going to refer back to the Ethan Suplee podcast. Is he talked about that when he was like 550, just like walking like a little bit past his car was like really like that was I don't know how you explain it, but like that was where he was kind of at that point, you know, and that's, you know, some people are at that point. So anyways, I think there was just kind of a misunderstanding between them. And I think they both put out very good information. They're basically saying the kind of same thing. But anyways, yeah. But Steffi Cohen's response was really funny because she did like a whole skit at the beginning and basically calling him, what's that comedian that sounds like him? Godfrey, you know? Mm-hmm. I can't remember his first name. Mm-hmm. Something Godfrey. And just kind of ripping on him, making fun, you know. So it was funny and interesting.
What's going on here with Mike O'Hearn?
Yeah, so then the Mike O'Hearn and the Greg Doucette thing. So, you know, I think we talked about this last time on Greg calling him out about the cardio.
Oh, yeah.
And saying not to recommend cardio, which was fucking idiotic, really. Mike O'Hearn sucks. And then in a more recent video, Mike O'Hearn was talking about people who like trolls and people that haven't like achieved anything and this, that, and the other, and they were flashing pictures of Greg up on the video. Uh-huh. And he was talking about this, and they were talking about like pro cards, and it's easier to get a pro card nowadays, and this, that, and the other. And it's like Greg's whole point was he didn't even get a pro card nowadays. He got it quite a while ago, like almost 10 years ago, when it was like his main point, when it was challenging. And then they're like, oh, they didn't even win a pro event. I think Doucette got like 4th, which is like, how many people can even really say that? That's pretty ridiculous. Yeah. And but then the whole thing is, Mike O'Hearn's never even had a pro card. He's never been an IFBB pro. Mm-hmm. He's never competed. So like, what the fuck are you trying to say right now?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And like saying he hasn't like earned anything, like he's a world record powerlifter too, and he's like 1 million subs on YouTube. So your whole argument is just you sound like a hater, just a loser.
Yeah, he does.
Because the guy you're complaining about being a loser and not achieving anything has achieved more than you, really. I mean, I would say, a world record powerlifter, IFBB pro. Does triathlons, has a giant social media following, has a very successful training business, you know?
Yeah.
Mike O'Hearn has a very successful training business, I'm sure. He lives pretty well. I've seen like his house. And he has a very good physique, you know? But also you live a lie. You just live a life of lies.
Yeah, he does, yeah. He definitely does, yeah.
So, I don't know, it was just a weird kind of argument, and like Greg was like not having it, just breaking it down. So I thought that was interesting. Last two then. What time we got?
I don't know, I'm starving.
We're about an hour. Yeah. We'll do these last two. These will be quick. Dude, can you believe the Weidman leg break?
Yeah, that was.
Who was it? It was Uriah Hall. Checked his leg kick and snapped it just like how Chris Weidman checked Anderson Silva's leg check back in the day and broke his leg the exact same way. And then he stepped on it. I got the chills. I was like, ooh.
Were you watching it live?
No, I saw it after.
Oh my gosh.
I did not see it live. But oh my fucking god. Just the way it's like flapping and then he just tries to step on it. Oh, dude.
I want to throw
It gives
up.
me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, that was bad.
My goodness. I couldn't believe it. The exact same injury. And it's only happened like a handful of times in the UFC.
That was terrible, dude.
Such a bummer. Such a fucking bummer.
Yeah, that was
Anyways, that's just a quick one. And the last one is the Ben Askren versus Jake Paul fight. Now, this motherfucker right here thinks that was a rigged fight.
I do.
Again, and this is the points I brought up before the fight. Ben Askren is an elite wrestler. He's never been a striker. Even in MMA, he was never known for a striker.
I agree.
He's never been in a boxing match. He's like 40. He's retired from MMA, and he's been retired for a while. So he probably wasn't training very hard. Because when you retire, I mean, the grind of martial arts and professional sports in general is the training for it. Like competing is like the fun part. It's like the weeks and weeks you have to put in to train for it. And you could obviously tell he wasn't training very hard by his body. He had super dad bod.
Did you see some of his training videos? Like him hitting the heavy bag? Yeah.
It was funny like this, bro.
Yeah, that's why I think, dude. That's why I think it was all fake, dude. I think he just got paid to take a dive.
No.
Because there's no way he was being
but
serious.
But then also he had a hip replacement. So that's like 5 different points. And people just want to completely discount Jake Paul. He's been training boxing for like 3 years now, which is a significant amount of time. And he obviously has power. Would you say the Nate Robinson fight was rigged? Please say. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably something you gotta look into.
I think he just like conspiracy theories.
That
one obviously wasn't fake, and he flatlined him. And Ben Askren has obviously had way more head trauma throughout his life than Nate Robinson. We can agree with that, right?
Yeah. So,
and again, 40, hip replacement, never been a striker, and you could see by his training, he just didn't look good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was rigged, or I either think that I think Ben Askren never had the intention of taking it seriously. That's what I think it was.
Because I said this before we started recording, but I'll say, what's the ref who doesn't ref anymore, but is Big John McCarthy. He talked about it. He was like, the way he landed, he was like dead body.
Yeah.
Hit the canvas. If you are still conscious, you're gonna want to just have a natural reaction to brace the fall, either using your hands or to like tighten up and flex, so you're not just smacking it. Because if you're conscious, you just don't want that to happen, right? You're gonna brace, right? And he doesn't do that. He just hits the canvas. I think he got knocked the fuck out and then hit the canvas. I don't think he was paid to take a fall. I think he knew he wasn't gonna win and didn't put that much effort into it, but he was still gonna get a giant payday and was just happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, you see him after the fight, like he's walking away with his wife, like all happy and smiling, like super stoked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm like, I just hate it. Like they're building this Jake Paul dude up as a boxer, you know.
You still can't really call him a boxer because he hasn't
fought
a boxer.
Yeah, that's why I say they're building him up as a boxer. He hasn't fought a boxer.
But I mean, that's okay because think of all the big boxer nowadays that you like.
Well, I really don't.
Tyson.
I really don't like boxing in general.
Okay, well, like Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Canelo. Go back and look at their first handful of fights. They're fighting cans. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's how boxing is.
You fight cans, so you can beat the shit out of them and get some ring experience and learn and just get your timing down. And you have a good idea that you're gonna beat to build confidence and build experience upon. Any fighter you look at.
Yeah, that's what boxing's like.
I don't think that's lame. I think learning and getting experience is a part of it, and then you can develop that into fighting more challenging opponents later in your career.
I guess so. Yeah, it is.
Because I mean, I think of a lot of UFC fighters' careers that were cut short because they fought people that were way out of their skill level, like Sage Northcutt. Who else? I can't think. It's hard to think off the top of my head. People that got thrown into the wolves too quick. Maybe you can maybe say Cody Garbrandt. Who else? I don't know. Yeah, there's a million out there. I just can't really think. People that were thrusted through way high challenging people way too quickly in their career. When you have a whole 15 plus years you could box. Say you start at like 20, you could box till you're like 35, maybe even a little bit longer. And you rush to this high level in like 2-3 years. Then like where do you go from there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I don't think it was rigged. I think he was just trying to get a paycheck. And I think people need to take Jake Paul more seriously. He's not a boxer yet, but he's on his way. But you could say that about any big boxer nowadays. Look at their first few fights. They're not fighting anyone worth their salt,
True.
And Jake Paul's doing it smart.
Yes.
Next matchup, who do you want him to fight? Either these are the two I've heard the most is Mike Perry and Tyron Woodley. Of those two people, who would you rather want to fight?
Probably Tyron Woodley.
Oh, how come?
I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. Mike Perry could get paid to say that too.
No, do you not know what happened with him?
Mm-hmm.
Is he was a training partner for Jake.
Oh, they got beef?
Huh?
They got beef?
Yeah. Because he was, he was being respectful. He was like getting paid to come in there and kind of help train. Was taking it easy on him, chilling, and then there was just kind of like some footage got released, and in one of the texts he said, oh, what the fuck did he say? It was a really good line. He was like, you'll never be like as much of a man as I am, or some shit like that, or you're not as real as me. I've been in this game for whatever. I can't remember exactly what he said. I gotta look it up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Mike Perry has beef with him.
And
Mike Perry is a very good striker.
That'd be fun.
He could really truly knock Jake Paul out.
Yeah, I hope somebody flatlines him.
I don't think he'll take that fight, but I want Mike Perry next. Plus, it'll be a big payday for him. I like Mike Perry.
Yeah.
He has like a family.
Yeah. That'd be good.
That'd be cool for him.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that's it for all the different current events we got today. It's a little over an hour, so that's cool. I got to figure out how to get this recording on my thing onto
SoundCloud. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Actually, no. That should be fine. I know how to do that SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And then it'll go straight to the other ones. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. It shouldn't be that big a problem. Yeah. That's it. Anything else?
No.
All right. It's been Performance Academy podcast with Zach Rowe
And your boy Josh.
and peace.
Dude, I'm fucking